You know what else never tells you no?
You never tell me. Or the show.
Two guys talking
Out where the hell
podcast.
can.
You can take our ideas.
Welcome back to the Pantless podcast. Here's your hosts, Austin and Travis. Yeah. Hey,
Wow.
hey.
Gosh, that was rough.
I liked it.
But I'm glad we're here and it's clear. What's up, brother?
Not much. How's it going?
Life?
Life
Man,
is
I am
good.
just- I'm peachy.
You know, made it another week.
That's right.
Drinking with my boys.
That's right. Cheers, everyone.
When I say boys, I mean just you.
Yeah. Let's
'Cause
cheers. Cheers to the fam.
when I drink alone.
That's right.
I prefer to be by myself. I drink
Yeah.
alone.
No. Yeah.
Yeah.
Usually when I drink with other people, I'm usually like punching somebody.
Yeah,
It's just
nobody else.
It's a lot safer just to drink alone, and
It is.
you're not. But anyway,
Speaking of punching other
moving
people,
on.
how was your week?
my week was fantastic. I think
Nobody told you otherwise?
nobody said anything other than that. It's just been love is in the air, sir. Like
Is it?
our leagues are bringing people together. We have 3 different people that are in our league that just recently got in relationships. 2 of them got in relationships with each other.
Are
It's
these
crazy?
Wait. The two that we
Breaking
were with,
news.
the two that we were
They
met us at the
they
B-dubs the other day.
might have become an item officially. So
But
it's
she
crazy.
but wasn't she at one point with one of the other individuals that was in our league?
Yes, she was. Well,
Like for
Yeah.
like a one.
anyway, moving on. We won't dive into their personal lives.
No, we're diving into personal lives. That's what we do here. Not ours, but other people's. Who else is in a relationship? The twins?
No, the owner of the Oklahoma Kings in our basketball league
Basketball?
is in it. Yeah, it's a secret, but I did tell him that I was going to announce it on the show.
Nice. I like it.
But it is also a secret, so don't tell his family.
I don't know these people.
I'm pretty sure they don't listen to the show, so we're safe. If they do listen to the show, I'm going to be in trouble. So,
Okay, I don't know him or his family, so
yeah, but he was with us also the other night at B-Dubs.
was he the one sitting beside me?
Yep, that's the one.
Okay, and he's with.
Somebody else, just that we don't know.
Oh, so he's got a new thing going.
He's got a new thing.
New
But yeah, so
thing
love is in
going.
the air. Love is in the air.
Love isn't there.
I love you. They love each other.
I can confirm that I am not with anybody that's in this league or any of our leagues.
Yes, I am with you there.
We're not together in
Right. Yeah,
No,
we're together in not being together.
I got you.
Yeah,
I am
like
so
if we were to like be shopping at Walmart together and buy a 12-pack, and you were to buy like a Bang on the side, and then the lady was like, "Are you guys together?" We would have that awkward. Oh no. I'm buying, but the Bang and the Mountain Dew. But I mean, we're not together. This is just I'm just buying this because it's more convenient than him whipping out Tree Pity.
We just come here for the bang. I mean, for the drinks. The drinks.
Yeah. The liquor and the Bang that follows the liquor. You know.
We just come here for the bang, the energy drinks.
Yes.
That's a good joke. That'd be a good short.
It's been done, sir.
Speaking
You are so late to the game there.
Hey, but we bring it back like it's retro.
This is so 2 years ago. Hashtag retro. Yeah, that's with how we are like so our microwave mentality. 2 years might be retro now.
It could be. So, I thought I was just rocking out in WNBA, but I'm actually down. I can't. What is it with Mark and David that just they're the bane of my existence?
They just love the game, man.
I think that they literally tell my players in fantasy to just have bad games the weeks I play them too.
Yeah, I mean they have that twin power, so they might be able to pull that off.
Like I went from scoring 681 in my first week to I just got over three. I just got to 300 with 2 days left in the week. It's
Right.
fucking ridiculous.
This league is like women's college basketball. It is so lopsided. The top 3 teams are like just head and shoulders above everybody else. Like nobody, like UConn,
Not even. He's not even talking about soap.
UConn, Stanford, and Baylor.
Yeah.
Like they're like in a league of their own, and they're just playing everybody else just for fun,
There's
for
a movie
practice.
called
So when they
about
play
this
each
whole
other.
thing.
Speaking of, that would be an awesome movie to watch because that is a fantastic
It
movie.
is a fantastic movie. I will do some research, see what we can find.
And you know how we always piggyback off of something like, oh, there's an actor in this last one, but I mean we're following the thing.
Hey, we'll talk about that later.
Yeah,
But,
yeah, we're fantasy.
I was talking with Kelly,
Yeah.
and he told me that, and I noticed this, WNBA doesn't play on Mondays, and not very many teams play on Tuesdays. So it's almost like you almost don't have a full week in this league. And I've noticed that some teams only play once. You might get a second week out of a player. They don't play like 6-7 games a week like NBA does. So it's kind of harder to get points. Frickin' frustrating. Then you got these lame, weak baseball players. I guess it kind of drizzled in Colorado, so they postponed that game.
Did they?
I had some games postponed today. It's like, what are you?
I haven't been paying attention. I've just been focusing. I noticed a lot of my players weren't playing, but I think it's just because they were wanting to rest.
But
it is what it is.
Fantasy sports is boring right now. I don't know.
Pretty weak.
For those of you who did watch last week and were paying attention, Austin was way wrong on his calculations.
Was I, sir?
I actually have our predictions of Washington and Dallas's seasons coming up.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
I had Washington going a very disappointing 13-4. And you had Dallas going a very wrong 12-5.
Yeah.
You had it. I think you in the video. I think you said something about 11-5. But they actually played 17 games. Not
12-5. My bad.
So
if we haven't said it in the past, math is hard.
It is.
So
I had to watch that segment 3 or 4 times to get our numbers.
in slow motion, half speed. I pick Dallas.
There's a couple of these.
One.
There were a couple of these that you didn't really clearly say one way or the other, but yet you had a number at the end. So I kind of had to do some creative liberties to get these numbers. So
you didn't even really listen to me, is what you're telling me.
No, we were talking back and forth and making fun of both of our predictions so much that I think some of them we kind of skipped over, and we said it but didn't say it like clearly. So I had to translate our talk.
Gotcha.
But I got it here, and what we're gonna do, Austin,
okay,
is it's kind of a dumbed down version of the way we used to do our football picks.
Uh-huh.
When football starts, we're gonna. I think I might do an over/under for each game, for each Washington and Dallas game.
Okay.
That we'll both pick for each. We'll both pick over/under for the Washington game that week, and an over/under for the Dallas. But then we also get for every game that I picked Washington to win, that they lose, I lose a point. If I was right, I gain a point.
Okay.
And on the Dallas side, same for you. Or it may be like if I picked them to win, Washington to win, and they don't, you gain a point, I get nothing, or some weird stuff like that. We'll figure.
Yeah. Okay.
And see who was more accurate in this, but we'll also do an over/under because those are always fun.
Down. I am down, sir.
So I've got the sheet here, and we'll figure that out as we go. So I told you that I had a news thing that I saw the other day that would spark a channel-ending debate.
Oh snap!
Let's start with some breaking news. Did you hear the other day? And I think this got reported. I don't remember. I know that the government had a round table debate about this.
The government. You know I hate the government, so you're already starting off like ruffling my feathers.
Did you hear about the alien door they found on Mars?
I thought you were going to be serious. Why do you do this to me? Why do you do this? I was all excited for something like for real. Like I thought we were going to have a discussion.
What?
It was going to be thought-provoking.
There's
And
an
then you
alien door
bust
on
it.
Mars.
Then you bust out alien doors on Mars.
You think I
Sir.
was joking?
Sir.
What part of this do you think I'm joking about?
All of it? I mean,
There honestly was. The government.
I imagine the government really had a roundtable
They
discussion
did have a
about
roundtable,
something.
and they actually had a. I think it was like the first time ever in the U.S. government's history that they actually had a debate deal where they the whole all the senators got together and all the Congress and whatever. I don't like government either, so I didn't pay fully attention to it. Should have paid more attention in school to know what this stuff was. But they actually talked about the potential of extraterrestrials, what the door on Mars meant, the Tic Tac video, and was like there was actual people were actually allowed to ask the high ups what they thought about this stuff, and they all just said, "Oh, we don't know." But you don't think the door was real?
Never heard of it, sir. I'm trying to Google right now. I mean, not Google, DuckDuckGo. I don't use that other one.
I Google everything.
That's a pretty interesting picture, sir. If that's real, is that real?
Looks real to me, sir. That could be in the Nevada desert, but I mean,
I guess you're not wrong there. You're not wrong. So, all right, you just redeemed yourself by that, because yeah, that could easily.
Or in Egypt, could have been in Egypt.
Because that definitely doesn't look natural, but I'm going to hold out reservation. I'm going to hold out saying that it's probably not on Mars, that it is probably on Earth, because our government are a bunch of liars, and you can't trust them for nothing. Shut me down, Biden. Shut me down.
I want to believe that it's real. But
if that is real and that is on Mars, I would love to hear what they say about it, because that's crazy. It's got an awning, obvious right angles. It's
a door.
It's a door. So
it is a door made by some form of intelligence.
Absolutely.
I heard a really good theory from one individual in the government.
Okay.
He said this is just a theory he has. Take it how you will, but he all these different what they call UFO sightings and all these weird lights in the sky, different events, the Tic Tac video, which I have kind of looked into that quite a bit.
Yeah, I have heard of that. That is super interesting.
He has a theory, a working theory, and he said he's not saying he believes this, he doesn't disprove this, but there is a group of individuals that this is the working theory that these aren't aliens.
Yep.
This is us from the future.
I have heard that theory. I have heard that.
That us in like say 200 years in the future has learned how to bend light and go into the multiverse basically, and are now coming back to us. And this is what we're seeing is human civilization 200 years in the future coming backwards.
Heard that. I have heard that.
And I'm like, that makes a lot of sense.
It poses, I mean, there's lots of questions, but
it made my questioning brain of aliens flip on its head and go, ah, crap. I hate this guy.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it is plausible. I've heard, if they said, if you look at how we will advance,
yeah,
eventually, we'll get more skinny. We won't use as many muscles because we've mastered machinery and we've mastered tech. Our brains will get bigger. Our heads will get larger. And we might resemble some of these sightings of what people say are aliens that we could look like that in the future.
Well, this guy basically said, if you look 200 years behind us, what did we look like 200 years ago? Drastically, like as a civilization. I was
like 200 years ago, we pretty much look like this.
I'm just talking about like where technology was, where civilization was.
Yeah.
How far we've come in 200 years. Imagine another 200 years from now,
right?
Where technology might be, and they looking back at us going, "Wait, you haven't figured out how to time travel yet? What have you been doing with your lives? What? You still have body hair?
Yes, we do.
You still wear pants?
Yes, No, we don't. We don't. Other people do.
Look at us.
Right.
We're already part of the future.
That's right. We've advanced.
We've evolved.
But that's crazy. That picture. That's pretty crazy.
The child part of my brain wants to believe that that's an alien door on Mars.
I mean, yeah. I don't. As soon as I saw it, I literally got goosebumps. I'm like, holy crap, is that real? That's crazy. If that's real, that's crazy. But thankfully, you brought me back down to Earth by saying it's probably on Earth.
It could be.
It could be.
Channel saying we're not disagreeing with this one. Hey, what breaking news do you have that I need to check my sources on?
Well, I wish you would check your sources, but I heard that Ozzy Osbourne's daughter, Amy, she escaped from a Hollywood studio fire. Did you hear that? I haven't got any details yet. This is like super breaking to me.
In a recording studio?
In Hollywood? It could have been a recording studio. It could have been a movie theater, like a filming studio. I don't have all the details. This is like coming in live, and I'm not sure on everything. I didn't even know he had another daughter.
Sharon Osbourne reveals that Amy's daughter was
Amy's daughter, or her daughter Amy.
I think this is worded weird. Was in a fire in the Hollywood studio which killed one.
Oh my goodness.
Osbourne via Instagram that Amy and her producer survived the fire on Thursday night, escaping with injuries, according to media reporter.
That's crazy.
Yep, that Amy was one of the victims of the fire.
She's safe. I'm glad she's safe. Rip other person.
Yep.
But that's wild. Fires are no joke.
Yep,
you gotta learn about fire safety.
Stop, drop, and roll.
Right.
Don't run into the light.
I didn't even know they had a daughter named Amy. I didn't
even know the Osbournes were real. I thought they were aliens as well.
I knew they had Jack and Kelly. Kelly, she was the woman, the girl, right? The other daughter.
Sure.
But
here's a
interesting
part of that article. It says Amy Osbourne does not regret missing family fame by not appearing in the Osbournes.
That's why I didn't know who she was. I only knew the people that actually appeared in the Osbournes. Oh, interesting.
So,
Okay, cool.
the least famous of the Osbourne children.
Yeah.
Got any other news?
Nope, that's all I had. That's all I had.
That's all I had too. Let's review a movie.
Let's do it. You've got the entire floor because I'm out.
All of it. I have every last bit of it.
I'm out of CSM, if you know what I mean.
I don't, but let's move on. Forest Gump.
Common sense media.
Stupid is as stupid does.
That's right.
Man, was this not one of the best movies of all time?
It is such a classic. I love it so much.
Was Sally Field not just awesome in this movie?
Sally Field, the mom?
Yeah, the mom.
She was good. She wasn't in there very often.
But great.
For how famous she is. You know what I'm saying? Like, I thought it was kind of odd. But I definitely enjoyed her.
She was so great. In the role they gave her.
She really was. My favorite line of hers, if God wanted us all to be the same, they would have given everyone leg braces.
They would have. He would
Or
have.
he would have given everyone leg braces.
She's not wrong.
I loved that line. I was like, that is awesome. Oh.
And I always forget that Jenny is played by the one and only Robin Wright.
I only know her as Jenny.
You should know her as a different role. In the best movie of all time.
She was in The Matrix? Was she Trinity?
No, she was Princess Buttercup in The Princess Bride.
No. Hold on. I gotta go to my machine.
I just looked it up because I had to double check before. I had to make sure I wasn't wrong before I just dropped that bombshell right here.
Right. There is. It is. Oh yeah. My goodness.
Yeah.
How young she is. Oh man.
She was pretty young in this one too. Both those movies I think came out pretty close to each other. How awesome was it that how they made them all look aged near the end?
Yeah, they did a good job. Princess Bride came out in '87, sir.
No, not too much different from when this one came out. It's '94.
7 years.
That's not bad.
7.
That's forever in Hollywood, I guess. In movies.
Yeah. I mean, who knows how many movies they would have killed her off in already.
What is crazy is movie timeline for Forrest Gump wise. She passed away in '82. That her headstone said '82.
Yeah.
But they made her look way older than what she actually. The cosmetics they used to make them all look older through time was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Did you recognize the little boy that played Forrest Jr.?
Oh yeah.
I always forget he's in there too.
Yeah, I forgot too. I did until I was like, "Hey, Haley Joel Osment."
Yeah.
There.
So.
Good one.
Classic.
So, the critics love this movie.
20 critics. It has got the stamp Metacritic must-see stamp.
Right.
So, out of 100, what do you think this one was?
I think Metacritic gave this an 87 out of 100.
Really close. It's weird whenever some of these give the Metacritic must-see, but then only give it an 82.
That is weird.
Metacritic's like, you have to see this, but our critics really didn't like it.
Well, you have to remember, think of all the scores that the critics have given for great movies when they're like, this was a 40.
Yeah.
So an 82 from a critic probably is a must-see, because that's like, whoa! They never give anything more than a 68.
So, 1,488 users
Oh, this is gonna be the tough one.
out of 10.
9.1.
They didn't like it as much.
Oh, okay.
7.8.
Ooh,
But
that's really close. That's close.
they're close.
Yeah.
I can imagine that there's probably some people who've watched this in the last few years and went, I don't like some of the things in this movie. Because there's cultural things. You know,
There's a couple. There's a couple
words used.
It's pretty accurate,
It's
though.
accurate to the times.
Exactly. It accurately
imagine-
depicts the time.
Imagine say a 21-year-old watch this movie right now and was like, oh, I got a review on this because this is not okay. You can't say that. Well, in 94, depicting the 60s era, yeah, you can say that.
Any movie depicting the 60s era, I mean, that's the way the 60s was. We shouldn't try to whitewash it.
I think they would try these days anyway. Like if they tried to remake Remember the Titans this year, there would be some different there would be some changes. There would be some words that wouldn't be used. I'm not defending it. I'm just saying that that's the culture we live in these days. So, the critics gave it 18 positive, 2 mixed, 0 negative. Users gave it 1,221 positive, 48 mixed, and 229 negative.
Okay.
There are people that didn't like this. Real views gave it a hundo.
Wow. High praise.
Passionate and magical Forest Gump is a tonic for a weary of spirit. For the weary of spirit. Sorry, I'm not reading words today. Entertainment gave it a 50. It is also glib, shallow, and monotonous. A movie that spends so much time satisfying its hero that despite its innocence, he ends up seeing about as vulnerable as Superman.
He seems he seems. I mean, he did get bit in the butt, but.
Did you notice that bullet bit him in the butt? He still rescued like 3 people afterwards.
Oh yeah.
Like, dang, get it.
Yeah. It's a good one. He's a. And who knew that he had his hand in like every major U.S. event?
Heck yeah.
From like 1955 to 1975 or something. That's crazy.
80. Like I said, it didn't really show. It didn't ever show dates. You kind of knew what era you were in going through. It only really confirmed what year it was when it showed her tombstone at 82.
Right.
And I guess they got married that year. Because the boy was still the same age as when he first found out he had a son. So I guess when they got married, I guess her health declined pretty quick. Did it ever say what she died of?
It didn't. It just said she had a virus that the doctors couldn't cure. So we don't know if it was AIDS. You know, she was into that scene, and but she never said that.
But she declined super quick for AIDS, though.
Who knew? It was the 80s, man. Everybody declined quick.
I guess.
It was like right then.
So, all right. Great movie. Let's see what Common Sense Media has to say about this. Have we ever had a Michael Scheinfeld?
I can remember.
It's not Seinfeld, it's Scheinfeld.
Not that I can remember.
Okay. Well, Michael, let's shorten this to Mike. I don't got the kind of time.
Yeah, Mike.
Gave us a no, sorry. I can't count today. 5-star 13 plus.
Nice. Okay.
Said, moving and wonderful, but parent preview a good idea.
Ooh, Ghost.
Yeah, I guess.
You're alone, right?
No, I got the kids here.
Oh.
Parents say 57 reviews.
Hmm.
4 stars 13 plus.
Okay.
Kids 277 kid reviews.
Wow.
12 plus 5 stars.
Ah. Okay.
I could agree with that. I actually
It was
paid attention.
pretty funny.
I actually paid attention. I will mention I never realized what his mama named him after. I guess I never paid attention to that. Like,
I'm right there with you. I never did either.
And it dawned on me. I'm like, wait, he's sitting on the bench next to the lady he's sitting next to,
Yeah.
and
Yep.
he's telling her that, and I'm like, did they purposely not cut? Like, what was her face when she heard the white sheets?
Yeah. I mean, she was only halfway listening anyway.
I know,
She really,
but-
so she might not even caught it.
So,
And that's one of those. That's the that line, the famous, probably the most famous line from that movie.
which one would that one be?
Life
Telltale.
was like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're gonna get.
Yeah.
Most people think it's life is like a box of chocolates, but the actual line is life was like a box of chocolates.
Yeah. Yeah.
People will argue you to the grave saying, no, he said, Mama said life is like a box of chocolates.
So, speaking of chocolates, positive messages.
Positive messages. This has got to be a 5. Has to be.
That's where you would be wrong, sir. We're setting up on a wrong foot.
What?
3-star.
3 stars.
The movie stresses the importance of family, friendship, and loyalty. Some historic events and figures are questioned, but generally not in too much detail. Serious issues like child abuse and war are addressed. Other major themes like gratitude, integrity, and perseverance. I don't agree with the 3. I would have went higher.
I just don't understand. Like, you can't
Bubba-
get much better than
Bubba
Being-
would highly disagree with this.
absolutely. Yeah.
I love the scene when with Bubba's mama opening the envelope. I want to know what the number was.
Yeah.
But it's like, holy hell, that's good stuff. But he invested in a fruit company. There were small things. A tangent here. There were small things in this movie that a younger me had never caught in the many times I've seen this movie.
Yeah.
That I guess I've started paying more attention to some of these movies and like small stuff since we've been reviewing them.
Yeah.
That I catch up on. I'm catching up on stuff like that now. It's like I do need to watch a lot of older movies. So, break your heart again. Positive role models. What would you? What would you? give?
Forrest is a 5 out of 5. He's probably a 6 out of 5. But what does Mike say?
Gave it a 2.
Wow.
Forrest, through his extreme nativity and big heart, I was like, I'm not reading that, seems to bring out the best in people. He stumbles into much of his good luck serendipitously, but he also works hard and devotes himself to whatever he's focused on. Other characters have more complex motivations and backstories. and sometimes fall victim of their own personal demons. But Forrest helps keep them pointed in the right direction. That sounds like a 4 or 5 out of me coming out of me.
I don't know, and maybe maybe they're bringing in other people. Like Lieutenant Dan was kind of problematic.
He came back. He came around.
Yeah, Jenny. My wife swears Jenny is like the villain of the movie. Like
She kind of is.
Just can't stand Jenny. Like this woman is terrible. Just drags him along. Eventually,
not
on her deathbed, she's like, "I'll, marry you," kind of thing. But
she was. I think what her dad did to her, which it doesn't talk about exactly what her dad did to her, but you kind of know.
Right. Well, he said her dad was a very loving man. He was always kissing on his daughters and touching his daughters. He's loving. But
she had that scene. She had bruises all over her face as well.
Yeah.
That childhood trauma messed her up badly, and I don't think when she was given over to her grandma, I don't know if her grandma treated her all that well.
Probably not.
She had that damaged her, and in that era of not getting proper help that you can get today. Because, I would like to know what Forrest had. Because it kind of seemed like very low-functioning autism.
Yeah, that's what I would guess, yeah.
That wasn't a thing, and, that...
Right.
That word didn't exist until, in the mid-2000s kind of thing.
Right.
It did, but it wasn't...
But not, especially not, it did exist then.
I never heard the word autism until I was grown.
Yeah, it didn't exist then. It was just, they were slow.
And growing up, I'm like, oh, well, that explains a lot of people I grew up with. He had a mental deficiency, but I think it was due to his autism.
Obviously,
and back in the early 60s, they didn't treat that. They just thought you were stupid, and they just treated you like a dummy.
Right. Yeah.
So you never got treatment. So, I don't know if I'd call her the villain. I don't think there was a villain in this movie.
Yeah. Maybe, I don't know.
Okay. Violence.
I would agree. I think there's reasons you can explain why people behave the way they did. Even Lieutenant Dan, you could explain why he behaved the way he did.
He had some PTSD, major PTSD from the war.
Absolutely.
You lose both legs in a war that you were expecting to die in because your whole family legacy was dying in major wars.
Yep.
That messes you up in the head. So, not defending his actions, just trying to understand them.
Yep.
Don't come at me, internet.
We're going after you. Hate mail's flooding. You just open the floodgates.
Bring them. Let's do this. Cancel culture. Violence.
Oh, violence. This is a tough one. I would say a 3. I mean, it had some pretty violent moments, but nothing was like overly violent.
He also gave it a 3. I could agree with. There was a part of the movie that had the war, when he was at war, that had some violence in it.
It did have some violence, blood,
had some gunshots, but other than that, the Panther part kind of had a little bit.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, every now and then, I mean, Forrest was quick to come to Jenny's aid, whether she needed it or not. He was going to punch somebody in the face if he thought they were hurting Jenny.
Yeah. So he gave it a 3. Young Forrest has rocks thrown at him by some bullies. Forrest is repeatedly insulted throughout his life. There are also some fist fights and explosive bodily Vietnam War combat scenes. The scene in which young Jenny hides from her abusive father is disturbing. as are a couple of major characters' deaths. Historical events discussed alluded to include assassinations.
Yep.
I actually was looking forward at some of his other scores, and this guy is reviewing movies awesome. I agree with his 3 actually. So
It's reasonable.
let's move on to sex.
Sex. This is also a tough one. It's kind of along the same lines as violence. I would probably give it a 3. It could be a 4, but I'd probably give it a 3.
There's a lot of implied stuff.
Yeah, there's a lot. There was that funny scene with Ginny in the dorm room.
Yeah,
that was funny.
It was actually hilarious. It shouldn't be. It shouldn't be funny. But even they were laughing at the end. She was laughing at the end.
Yeah.
There was a buttocks at one point.
Yeah. Then the mom got Forrest into school.
Yeah.
That was pretty funny too, especially when he was leaving and then Forrest started making the sounds that he heard the principal make. That was pretty funny.
So he gave it a 3.
Okay, good. All right. So yeah, that's what I would give it a 3.
Jenny works as a stripper at one point. Some foreplay, including a scene in which Forrest puts his hand on Jenny's breast while her roommate is in the room. Naked back is seen. Kissing, groping, scantily clad women, and a non-explicit scene in which 2 adult characters make love. That was near the end. Characters look at a pornographic magazine, but no nude pictures are shown in detail. A child overhears the sounds of 2 adults having sex.
Yeah, good job. 3 is good.
Yeah. Language.
Man, I'm trying to remember. I know that there was I remember some racial slurs in there.
Doesn't mention them in this review.
Interesting.
I know. I just realized that.
I don't recall language. I'm going to assume there had to be language. I think Lieutenant Dan would have said some things. This probably would get a 3, based on me assuming what Lieutenant Dan said, but I just don't recall anything off the top of my head.
It's got a 3 for the S word, F word a couple times. Gee dang it.
Mm-hmm.
A couple other ones. And some insults like stupid and idiot, which, reviewers, stop adding those into language. Insults that don't include an actual cuss word, I don't consider language.
Right, yeah.
F-bombs were dropped during the protests at the Capitol.
Oh, well, I do remember him saying that, the F-bomb. Oh, yeah, he did, yeah, you're right.
Yep. Right after he did his speech that they never heard, which was hilarious. He said, F yeah! So.
Pretty funny.
So, the one that I'm not going to agree upon right here. I'm still just baffled by this whole category. Consumerism.
Now, consumerism. There was quite a bit of consumerism.
There was
quite a bit. More than we've seen in a lot of movies.
Unless that's not actually considered consumerism.
But this wasn't based on a book. Let's go with a 3. But, like I said, consumerism is always tough. I don't know. It's hard. There was so much. You got a lot of branding in there. A lot.
He gave it a 1.
No. I'm like, 3 is like minimum.
Coke, Pepsi. I saw a Mellow Yellow can when they were on the shrimp boat. Apple computers.
Whole Bubba Gump shrimp. The Chevrolet.
All of it.
Yeah. No, I mean.
He says
1.
Some brands.
Let's hear it.
Some brand names, like Apple computers, are mentioned, but generally within a specific historic cultural context.
So he's saying because they did it in a way that wasn't trying to sell it.
He drank a lot of Pepsis. Was it Pepsi?
And was it Dr. Pepper? It was Dr. Pepper.
Was it Dr.
Like,
Pepper?
He would have like 15 Dr. Peppers. And it was just like,
I got to pay.
Oh, yeah. So far he's done really good on some areas and has done terrible on others.
We just need to get somebody on here that can explain like their thoughts on consumerism on this website.
It's got to be different for everybody. It has to be.
Everybody, they're not consistent with it.
They are not consistent. It's
drinking, drugs, and smoking.
I would think it's a 4 or 5, but I don't know what this guy's
I
going to
would
give it.
almost give this one a 4. I would agree. He gave it a 3 again. This guy's very middle of the road.
Yeah, I guess I could maybe accept that.
I would almost give it a 4 because
there was a lot. There's a lot of drugs, a lot of smoking, a lot of drinking.
Before I even read this, I know Lieutenant Dan, who had no legs, just in case you didn't know, was smoking a cigar or cigarette at all times.
Uh-huh.
They were at the bar drinking.
Yeah.
There's scenes of Jenny snorting lines of coke.
Yep.
There was a heroin needle.
Yep.
And she almost jumped off a bridge or off a terrace. There was a lot of drugs and smoking in this. I don't know about drinking, but there were hard drugs shown being used. He gave it a 3. A central character takes a lot of drugs during one part of the movie. A whole part of the movie. She was with cocaine visible. Other characters drink sometimes to numb pain, anger. Always.
Does that lessen it? Does that lessen?
I don't.
A reason for becoming an alcoholic, so it's not as bad as you think. Okay.
Parents need to know that although Forrest Gump's strong language, the word violence, including some bloody explosive Vietnam War scenes, and the implication of child abuse, and sexual situations like foreplay, kissing, implied sex, and more, make it questionable for young kids. Its ultimately positive messages and entertaining take on 3 decades of American history make it a fine choice for families with teens. Parents may want to preview the movie. If you got kids that are in the teens right now, you watch this movie in your teens. Parents may preview the movie for realistic treatment for serious issues like abuse, civil rights movement, drugs, and war. Like, I remember when this movie came out and watched it when I was my oldest daughter's age. So,
yeah, different time.
I don't agree with this person's review. Oh God, I regret doing that. They're gonna. I hit show more and it jumped down a novel.
It showed you more.
Yeah, it told out the whole much. Get this one. This parent gave it a 5-star, 18 plus.
Okay.
Said a great movie, but not for young teens. Skip the sex scenes, drug scenes, and prostitute scenes. This film is able to make the audience cry with tears. If you're having to, and goes back to last week's movie. If it's a movie you're trying to show to a certain audience, and you have to fast forward through scenes, that movie has lost its appeal, has lost context. If you have to fast forward a scene, don't watch the movie. In my opinion.
Right.
Because that's what that scene's in that movie. The writer and director put that scene in the movie. I don't agree with all scenes that are in movies, but if you're like, I don't want them seeing this scene, they shouldn't see the movie.
Right.
Don't fast forward through scenes.
Yeah.
But they gave the tags of this title has great messages, great role models, too much sex, too much consumerism, too much drinking, drugs, and smoking.
Oh, that was the review.
That was that adult review.
Okay, that's fair. Okay.
Because I guess they can tag with what it has and doesn't have.
Right.
And that's... And this is another adults review that's 5-star, 11 plus. You're just like everyone else, Forrest. We skipped the sex, drugs, and war scenes. My son really loved the rest of the film and got a lot from it. You skipped about a 30 to 45-minute scene if you skipped the entire war scene.
Right?
That was kind of a pivotal part of the movie. Like, I don't agree with that.
Yeah.
I'm still on.
And there's actually there are some programs that's really interesting. I can't remember what they're called. Maybe like Angel Vids, maybe. But you can actually, it's like a smart app, and you rent movies and you choose the things that you don't want to see or things you don't want to hear, and then that program will let you rent the movie and removes all of what you don't want. So even if it's like, I'm fine with every word except the F word, you can say, I don't want to hear the F word. And then you'll hear the whole movie, and then like it'll like, I don't know if it beeps it out or if it just cuts it out, but it's the same. Like if you're like, oh, I'm fine with
you're not watching
sex,
the
but I'm not
movie.
fine with blood.
You're not watching the movie though, and again, in my opinion,
Right.
like my wife doesn't like movies that have a lot of cussing, so she doesn't watch movies that has a lot of cussing. It's not like she just watches an edited version. She just doesn't. She doesn't like a lot of heavy violence. She doesn't watch heavy violence movies. It's like,
yeah,
if you know it's not what you like, and you're like, oh, hey, this movie shows it's got a lot of violence. Oh, flexing on us over here.
But no.
Flexing.
Yeah, I can understand. So the only time we ever fast forward is if we're watching a movie and we don't, like, a kid runs in and we're not anticipating the kid. If we're watching a movie that a kid shouldn't watch, then we're not going to watch it with the kid in the room. But if the kid runs to the room, they're like, man, we'll pause it or fast forward just to...
You just pause the movie.
I'm in agreement with you. I mean, we probably should pause it, but who has time to pause movies? Sometimes you're on a deadline. Sometimes you're like, we have to start recording at 8:30. This movie...
What you do is you pause the movie and just hope that you don't have a boob on the screen. Like, what are you doing in here? Oh, there's a... okay, I guess we'll just fast forward through that.
Rewind it. That way the kid leaves, and then you could see the boob. Don't fast forward or you miss the boob.
Do you think it odd that this was a PG-13 movie?
Not really. I think PG-13 is a good rating. Because, yeah, I think that's a good rating.
Okay.
Yeah.
So.
Next week, sir.
You said... You want to jump 2 years in the past. Okay, so.
We should go back to the Wayback Machine.
The Wayback Machine. You said you want to watch A League of Their Own.
That would be cool. Do we have it anywhere? Can we watch it?
Okay, a lot of things are saying with premium subscription that I don't actually have. Let me double check something real quick.
Is it on Disney, maybe?
No, it...
Somebody needs to check Disney Plus.
I just want to look at something.
Somebody needs to check it. I bet we can
Amazon
find
Prime.
it. Amazon Prime?
It is on Amazon Prime.
Okay.
Included with Prime. It's on my Prime watch list.
Okay. What do you think? Should we do it? Are you down?
No, I'm down. I love this movie. I think it's a great movie.
I have gotten some pushback from some people that are they prefer it when we review movies that like people don't know about. Like they're not a huge fan of us. They're not a huge fan of us reviewing movies that are like everybody knows. Like, who wants to hear your take on a movie that somebody either obviously loves or obviously hates? Like, they want to hear us review movies that people go, I've never heard of that. Okay, but you know what? This is our show, and if
I was about to say that, I was about to lick my microphone with a Pound Sand. This is our channel.
Pound Sam? What does that mean?
I really don't know.
Do kids say that?
I think they used to, or it's a different version of a real saying. And I'm just stupid. So this is another Tom Hanks movie. 2 years
Yes.
before he did Forest Gump. So, how many people do you think, on a scale of 1 to 5, how many people that we work with have seen this movie?
Ooh. So we're talking percentage. If you're wanting a scale of 1 to 5,
How?
I would guess. Man, that's a great question because we've got some young bloods that work with us.
We do.
You know, it might only be a 2. It might only be.
Like, is
Am
this
I just?
movie really that? How many people have even heard of it? I would give that a 3. One more. There's probably more people that's. I think I've heard of that one before. What's it about? Not really sure.
Right.
Heard my mom talk about it once. Like, this isn't a widely, and I may be completely off base on this one, but this could be. I don't think it's a very widely known movie. It was when I was growing up.
Right. But you're right. Yeah.
I remember we had it on VHS.
Yeah.
If anybody remembers what that is.
Yeah. So yeah. We're gonna watch that one. That's a good one.
It's just a great movie.
It'll be fun. It'll be really fun.
It's got that 80s heartthrob in it.
Tom Hanks.
Gina Davis.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say Rosie O'Donnell. I mean, we got Madonna in there too.
It's got Madonna, yes, it does.
So, but yeah, all right, cool. Watching it. We got some more entertainment, fun stuff.
Oh,
we talked about it a little bit. Pokemon Home.
Pokemon Home. I forgot all about that.
Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl, and Legends Arceus. You can now move Pokemon in and out of home to those games.
You can.
From those games to that game.
I did it already.
Fantastic.
Just to test it. I moved all my Rotoms over from home to get all my Rotom forms because it's not easy. Do you have all the Rotom forms in Arceus yet?
Not in Arceus, no. I'm slowly buying all of the equipment whenever they become available.
So I only had in all the time I played it, I only had the lawnmower.
I've got 3 or 4 different.
I never could get them.
I don't know.
I never could get them to pop up in that vendor.
Yeah, it's tough because you buy it from him and then he's sold out for a long time, and I don't know the process of quickly getting them back.
We're gonna reveal to only us because everybody else probably already knows this because they're more versed. But what happens at level 10 trainer level?
Oh, that's right. Yeah, anticlimactic. Is that the word? That sounds dirty.
Climactic. Yeah.
Clitomatic. Anticlimatic.
Very, very underwhelming.
Yeah. You get 20 rare candies and then like a handful of grit pebbles, and that's it.
That's it. You don't get a new recipe for something.
No, it's just good job. Here's 20 rare candies, some grit pebbles, and whenever you accomplish a goal, you'll get a smidge more money, like a fraction, and that's it. I'm like,
that's hilarious.
Really
worth. Because
thankfully, I've just been trying to complete the decks so I can get to Arceus.
No.
So it just happened. But if that was my main goal, was like I'm just gonna grind to get to level 10.
Yeah.
To achieve the awesome, I'd be so mad. I'd been so mad.
Because what was it? Level 8, 7 or 8? It's whenever you max out what'll listen to you, right?
I think so. Yeah.
So you don't have to get to 10 to have level 100s obey you in combat because you've already hit that at like 7 or 8. So you get the last Pokeball at 9.
Yep.
I think you get you get the Jet Ball?
Yeah.
At 9? Because
Yep.
I'm at level 9. So Jet Ball's the last ball you get.
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
So lame. So lame.
But the home integration's pretty cool. There's really no explanation as to how you get these extra. But I figured they'd do some weird thing where you walk up because I think I added both of the Lowland Vulpix and Ninetales, and I think I added. Oh, I had a Rowlet because I don't have a Rowlet in the game yet because I went with Cyndaquil, and I just added a few and I added all the Rotom.
No, the Rowlet, when you sent it over, it was the Alolan Rowlet, right? You didn't get the Hisuian Rowlet.
It was the one that came out of it was one I hatched out of an egg in Sword and Shield.
Right, but that one, that's the Alolan Rowlet, the one that's native, like the original Rowlet. The Hisuian Rowlet's different.
Oh, I didn't think about that.
So if you evolve it, are you getting the ghost grass or are you getting the fighting grass?
I assume that it just transitions over and it just evolves into whatever I don't know, I'll have to next week I will grind that out.
Get to level 10 and give it 20 rare candies.
It won't take me long. It won't take me long to get it evolved.
I want you to do some heavy grinding tomorrow. Do some heavy grinding tomorrow.
Well, and that kind of fits into what I was going to talk about. I actually bought a new game and started playing it yesterday. I didn't play any today. Bought the new Lego Star Wars, Skywalker Saga.
Yeah.
Pretty good. Bought it on
PC.
Good? Yeah, bought it on PC. Got all the DLC stuff with it.
So you start out as are you Anakin, like, and you progress as Anakin, or how's that work?
It has all 9 movies.
Oh, then you can't be Anakin forever.
So you can start at episode 1, 3, 1, 4, or 7. You can choose. Okay. Those 3 chapters are unlocked.
Okay.
I started at episode 1, so you're Qui-Gon Jinn and Obi-Wan at the beginning. And you play through...
Oh, okay.
You play through the storylines as Lego characters. Now, as I don't like playing with game audio, because I'm weird like that, I generally am watching other stuff while I'm playing. You can actually go into the settings, because it's all fully voice acted. But the original Lego Star Wars games had the like Lego mumbles.
Yeah.
You could go into the settings and you could turn on the classic mumble mode.
Oh, that's fun.
And then you have subtitles. So I wouldn't turn that on just for the heck of it.
For nostalgia.
Yeah. And it's fun. I got it's shortened down story. So when you're in the Trade Federation ship of episode 1 with Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan,
yeah,
you're only there, like, that mission's very short. And then you're down on Naboo. And it took me maybe 15 minutes of gameplay to get from the very beginning to Tatooine, where Amidala's ship crashes, and you have to go find Anakin. I've already found Anakin.
Alright.
And it took me like 15 minutes of gameplay to get that far into the game, but now the whole city of Mos Eisley, I think it is, opens up for you. And there's like hundreds of collectibles inside this large cityscape, and I got distracted for like an hour just unlocking stuff, which I was like, I'm going to play this game. I'm not going to worry about the unlockables. I just want to play the storyline, play a fun Lego game, and just make it through all 9 movies. And I spent like an hour unlocking random stuff, not even progressing story, and went, yeah, I'm not good at telling myself what I'm doing.
That's hilarious. That's fantastic.
I will say, and if anybody wants to see it, I can record me playing the game and being frustrated as crap and getting mad at it. One of my favorite free games got a massive update that I actually kicked Lego Star Wars off because I was like, wait, this game got an update? I need to stop playing this brand new game and play this old game. Super Auto Pets got a freaking update.
Super Auto Pets.
Love that game. If you have not played it, check it out on Steam. It's free on Steam.
Still haven't.
Free on Steam, free on mobile. If you actually make an account through them, you can cross. You can.
Isn't it browser based also?
It is browser based as well, but it doesn't run great on browser. It runs better off the Steam version. I like the Steam version better, but you can log in to any of the versions, and like I have a run going right now on my phone, and probably after we stop recording, I'm probably gonna pop it open and finish that run. But what they've done with the newest update, they've now got a new character pack. They now have 2 character packs, pet packs. Which I bought the first one. I didn't really have the extra cash to buy the second one. But what they have now is they have what's called Weekly Pack, where they put a customized pack of all of their animals throughout the game. Depending on what pack you choose on how the game plays. Because it's got different animals in it. And you always play against other users playing in the same pack you're using. And the weekly packs are randomized packs that use animals from the 3 packs in the game that are just randomly that the developers throw into this weekly pack. And even if you don't own the DLC packs, you can use the animals in this weekly pack, and it changes every Monday. And it really changes it adds a new element to the game, because like I play the DLC pack, the first DLC pack a lot, and there's certain animals that work perfectly together. So you come to find out that every run you do, you're always using these like same 3 or 4 animals because they synergize really good together. Well, with these weekly packs, it might put one of your favorite animals that synergizes with a different favorite animal, but one's not in the pack, but the other is. So it changes your strategies up, because it's like, I like this animal, but I only like it if I have this other animal with it, but that animal's not even in that pack. So it forces you to play the game differently. It's fun.
That sounds fun.
It hinges on the one thing I'm not good at. Strategy. And there's a lot of luck involved as well. Because
you gotta get synergetic animals. If you don't have synergetic animals, you're just gonna get wrecked.
And that's in the upper levels. Yeah, if you don't have a team that works, that's really feeding each other, you're hosed. And if you don't really start building your main core team early, you're weak at the end. You can't wait till you get to tier 6 to start building a good crew, because everybody's just going to have way stronger animals.
Yeah.
Plus, it's luck on the rolls. If you don't get... There's one run I was playing today that if you don't... Like, I was just getting garbage rolls. And I just had nothing good. Nothing worked together. No synergy whatsoever. And I was getting horrible food, horrible pets. I'm like, well, this run's done. I think I won twice in that run before I died. But if you guys are listening, check out Super Auto Pets. I saw in the last update that they're looking to localize to more languages. So if you're one of our viewers on audio, I'm pointing at you. You can't see me, but
if you're one of our viewers on audio,
yeah, if you're viewing us on audio,
we call those listeners. But you know,
but our show, we can call them whatever we want.
That's true. That's true.
If you're audio only, if you're a YouTube audio only,
ooh, those are the rookies.
Yeah, But if you're in another country and it's not in your language, might wait a while. They said the next update they'll have more localization to other countries. You can come and complain to me about their lack of localization, and I don't know them, but I can.
We're big in Germany and Iran.
I want to say the game is localized in Germany now.
Okay. So if you're in Iran and
I don't know
you want Travis to argue on your behalf, send us an email at thepantlesspodcast@gmail.com.
I check that at least once every
and just
so many months.
It's Pantless. I think a lot of our emails we're not getting them because people are typing pantsless. It is Pantless.
Very common error.
Yeah, and so I'm pretty sure that's why we're not seeing as many emails as we should be seeing. So just make sure you're not putting that S after pant.
It tells me every time I type out pantless, it tells me I'm misspelling it. I'm like, no, spell check, you're wrong.
Yeah, no, the internet is wrong.
Internet is wrong.
Speaking of hosing down in Star Wars, next week, the Disney Plus is coming out with the new Obi-Wan TV show.
It is, isn't it?
Or the series. Pretty excited about that. Excited.
I was actually pretty sad.
Why?
Because somebody at work researched, and they're just now filming for Ahsoka.
Just now? Oh, I didn't even know there was going to be an Ahsoka series. That's why
that's why they brought her into The Mandalorian. You watched The Mandalorian season 2, right?
Yeah. She was fantastic. She looked
great. Dawson. That's why they brought her in. That's
great.
That's why they brought her into that series. It was like a fan, like they were gauging fan reaction. See kind of what people thought about it, and I guess it just exploded. And they're like, I guess we got to do it now. I am excited because that was the first time she'd ever been in a live action scene, because her character had only been in animation before then.
Yeah.
So, and to have such a large, fairly well-known actress play her.
Yeah.
You do know who it was, right?
Nope, but she looks great.
Dawson.
I don't know who that is.
Did you ever watch Daredevil on Netflix?
Yeah.
Night Nurse.
Oh, that was his nurse, his
Night Nurse
partner. Okay.
She also played Night Nurse.
Okay, yeah, I can see that.
That's
now.
Rosario Dawson. She's been
her makeup was fantastic. She looked great. I didn't even recognize her, but yeah, I can see that now. I can see it.
She was a fairly big actress in the early 2000s.
I'm excited. About the Obi-Wan show.
Super excited.
Cool.
I'm kind of curious what direction they go. And to end us off, I sent you a music video.
Yes.
Holy
what was it?
friggin'
Destruction of the Empire or something like that? Undermining the Empire or something?
I don't remember the name of it.
It was Arch Enemy.
Nope.
But
that's not you. Arch literally that's the newest single, Arch Enemy single dropped today. That video dropped like 6 hours before I sent it to you.
Sunset Over the Empire.
Like,
so good. I am so impressed. We were having some dinner, and I was like, "You guys got to listen." My wife's like, "I hate that. That's terrible." And I'm like, "Okay, shut up." I was like, "Listen to this." And then my daughter was like watching, and she's like, "That's not a girl." And I'm like, "No, that's a girl." She's like, "No." And my wife's like, "No. What are they? That's not real. That's not her voice." I'm like, "No, that's her voice." It's so crazy.
She is so talented.
Yeah, it's great. I thoroughly enjoy it.
I'm like, us need to see this so we can talk about this. I guess their album Deceiver comes out in July. I think July 6th was the date that I saw. But
yeah, I remember we were talking one time about going and watching them in concert, and they weren't playing anywhere near us.
Yeah, we were talking about them a couple weeks ago.
I still would like to.
I would love to go see them live. There's a show coming to Tulsa here next week.
What?
That I want to go watch, but the wife told me no.
What is it?
Bill Burr's going to be in Tulsa.
I didn't hear that. I did not hear that.
I want to say I think it's either.
Bill, are you sure it was Bill Burr
It
and
is
not
Bill Burr. No, it's Bill
that
Burr.
shirtless guy? The shirtless guy. Who am I thinking of?
Brett Krishinger? Brett Kreischer?
Bert Kreischer.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I don't think he is anywhere near us right now. I think he's touring elsewhere.
I know Big J Okerson's coming to Tulsa too sometime.
Bill Burr, Tulsa OK, BOK Center, tickets 2022. September 8th. Oh, I thought it was closer than that. Yeah, he's gonna be at the BOK September 8th on a Thursday night.
Arch Enemy is doing a European tour.
I forgot to actually tell you about that. I didn't want to break your heart, but in the pinned comment to that YouTube video I sent you, it literally said that they had just wrapped up their North American tour and was heading back to Europe.
In Germany. Oh, they're going to Tel Aviv, Israel,
Well,
Turkey, Finland.
You do know that they're not an American band, right?
I don't believe you. Look at them. They look like Americans.
She's Canadian. But I want to say the rest of them are Swedish.
Are going to Sweden, Gothenburg. Friday, November 4th, they're going to be in Stockholm. That'd be an epic show. You want to go to Stockholm?
Oh, let's do this.
In November? Let's just pack up and go.
Arch Enemy is a Swedish melodic death metal band.
Can you imagine how lit Stockholm's going to be?
Dude.
Bro,
Yeah,
let's win the lottery and let's go to Stockholm.
Let's do it.
November 4th. It's on a Friday. We'll take that Friday off of work. We'll fly down Friday morning, rock out, recover Saturday, and fly back on a red line Saturday night. We only miss one day of work.
Well, we'll miss more than that. Because we're already over there. We might have to jump over to Japan.
What? That's not even...
We won some money, right? We won some money, right?
I mean, if we're winning the lottery, I guess. I mean, we could take a couple days off of work, but... Like, Sweden is nowhere near Japan, sir. I mean, it is closer to Japan than we are, I bet, but...
There is... Me and the wife were talking about bucket list concerts that I want to do.
Yeah.
And I want to go watch Baby Metal live in Japan.
Oh my gosh, yes.
But
that would be...
It has to be Japan that I watch them live.
Okay. Do a little duck going of that, too.
I'm not finding anything that... Hey, you want to go watch Puddle of Mud at the Buffalo Run Casino in Miami on September 4th?
What day is that?
I don't know. Candlebox is going to be at the Buffalo Run Casino.
I don't know.
July 16th. You don't know who Candlebox is?
No.
I think we're done being friends. You know who Candlebox? Look them up after this.
I don't think Baby Metal's going on tour anytime soon.
They're not.
No announcements in 2022 or 2023.
Yeah, it doesn't look like they're. This website's showing nothing. You don't know who Candlebox is?
Maybe
Wow.
if I heard a song, I don't know.
We're gonna have to. All right, guys, we're gonna have to end it here.
American rock band from Seattle. What are they? Grunge? Oh, they are grunge.
Yeah.
They're grunge. Give me one of their songs that I could be like, oh, I know that song.
You've got me so frazzled that I can't even think straight right now.
Nope. I don't recognize any of those. Candlebox and Lucy are their big songs. Oh no, those are albums.
You, Far Behind, Cover Me. Man. People also search for Pearl Jam. Mother Love Bone, which is a really good band.
Oh,
if you know.
there you go. I remember you used to talk about them all the time.
I love them. I wish they had more, but unfortunately, they became Pearl Jam. All right. Let's not do this anymore tonight. Before you hurt my feelings again.
Okay.
Can't believe you do a thing like that to me. So, like, comment, subscribe. I don't think we say that enough around here. Or we'd say it too much. One of the two.
I'm listening to some Candlebox, and I really like them. I really, really like them.
Well,
They
you've made
sound...
up for it that time. Bye.
Bye, guys. You're the best. You're the best.
Candlebox is on.